Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. We are tonight's entertainment. Vic Jr. will be joining me very, very shortly. Matter of fact, he is coming on right now. I hope everybody could hear me well. We're going to do a brief show for y'all, and then the dish will be going on right after us. So stay locked into the channel. Got a double header tonight. Something that we kind of want to experiment with and do more double headers, do more shows with like 2 hours, 3 hours in it, just of different topics. A couple things happen throughout the day to kind of change some of the plans, but nonetheless, we are here. We're going to do a quick show for y'all. We got a few things we need to talk about and discuss. We're going to wait for Vic Jr. to fully come on. What's up, Vic?
What's going on, homie?
How you doing, man?
Chilling.
Good. I'm going to share the link real quick. Just tell me what's on your football mind.
This came from Beantown. I mean, I could feel the aura of the Red Sox and Patriot fandom all over my body right now. I need a shower. It's disgusting. But it's cool. It's nice. It's one of the benefits, very small benefits, very little benefits of living in the Connecticut area, where you're split between New York City and Boston.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you get, we get about an hour, 45-minute travel to each city, depending on traffic, of course. New York has probably double the traffic of Boston, but that's okay.
I'm sure it does.
If you're not in a rush, you can see the scenery. You know what I mean? The buildings, the pollution, the rats, the ghetto-ness. Love it all.
You talking about Boston or New York?
New York. New York.
Okay.
Bronx.
I'm gonna tell you this, right? For several reasons, the city of New York holds a special place in my heart.
Absolutely. I think I know what those reasons are.
Okay, What are you doing? Are you trying to Is it because of the light is glaring and everything?
Yeah, it's a little bright today. I don't know what's going on. I must got some new LEDs or something here.
Yeah. Those lights are mad bright, B.
Lights bright, baby. New York City, baby.
Yeah.
Trying to create the scenario here.
Oh my God, yo.
Yeah. So I was just taking my brother to the airport. He's going to London. Got some friends out there.
So, all right, ain't nothing wrong with that. Shout out to everybody in the comment section. Yep. Category Storms in there, Todd Love in there. I don't know where to start tonight, Vic, because like I said, a lot has happened. My brain's kind of all over the place. Yeah. Obviously, we got the Panthers at Falcons tonight. Two division rival teams, two interesting teams, no doubt about it. Over-under is 41.5. Atlanta's favored by 2.5 points. But a couple of things I want to talk about because there's not really much to talk about when it comes to this game. So let's talk about a couple of things. And I'm trying to pull up this tweet. And I know, Vic, we haven't discussed anything that we're going to talk about. And you may have missed this.
Freestyling. We freestyling here.
But there is something that was brought to my attention that Aaron Rodgers said.
Uh-oh.
And I am trying to find the quote. Did you see the quote?
I don't think so.
Okay, so he was discussing the possibility on the Pat McAfee show. Shout out to Pat McAfee, by the way, doing his thing. All punters matter, all kickers matter. R.I.P. Ray Guy.
A great show. It's a great show.
It is. You and I don't watch too many of these mainstream guys.
Yeah.
I think I've been open because there's something that I keep wanting to mention. I need to find this quote. So there's something that I want to mention. But Colin Cowherd is somebody that every now and then, I'll listen to a 10-minute clip, especially if it pops up on my feed, because he has some interesting perspective on some things. Mm-hmm. I don't necessarily go for his sports takes, but I do think the man understands what it takes to run a business. And sometimes that is honestly the only reason I listen to him, because it's nice to have that, listen to his perspective.
Right. When what I like about Colin is that like he'll connect, because I tend to do this a lot. He'll connect sports with life, with real life. You know, to kind of give us an example, because at the end of the day, we don't play the sport, right? We don't play the professional level. So like he just finds a way to like connect real life to it. Could be business, could be personal, could be marriage, could be anything. So I respect Colin for that, for that kind of stuff that he brings in his show.
No doubt. And then Pat, Pat played. I screenshotted this quote, and now I can't find it.
Pat, man, like, he got into the WWE there for a period, and I think he still is as a commentator. He even got in the ring on the last WrestleMania card. They curse on their show. They do a lot of joking. And then when it's serious time, they get real serious. I love how he stands up for most of his show. He can't sit down too long. The dude is like in his 40s, and he's still like fidgety, can't stop moving. Just, so I love that show, man. I try to, like you said, we don't have enough time to watch all these shows, but it's one of those I try to catch a little bit.
So I found a quote. Okay, it's not. I can't find the screenshot. So the only quote I found.
So was Rodgers on the show or something?
This was Aaron Rodgers on the Pat McAfee show.
Yeah, okay? They're big Aaron Rodgers fans.
Right. He says, "I believe in myself and I bet on myself, and something to impact and to be great that's within me. I'm still the reigning, defending, 2-time MVP, regardless of who's out there with me." Okay, the guys who are out there, if they want to come battle with me, know where to find me. I'm in that huddle, expecting greatness, trying to be the greatest I can be and lay it out on the line. In the words of Trav, arrogant Aaron.
And that again, that summarizes.
Yeah.
Right. No, and that summarizes what we've been talking about for a good 4 or 5 years now.
Bro.
The dude is all about himself. He's always been about his statistics. He's always been about his appearance. He's always been about how he looks doing things and playing the game. And people don't, I don't know if people hate to bring the human element about sports. I guess that's why I'm a Colin fan, because he connects the human element of it. But when you have that sense of arrogancy, that sense of I don't know, for lack of better terms, conceited, that stuff rubs off on your teammates. It rubs off on your franchise. It rubs off on the team you're playing for. And I mean, can we attribute their lack of success to it? Is there a lack of success? They've been to a lot of championship series. He won a Super Bowl about 12 years ago. I mean, it's getting old already.
He's only been to 3 championship games.
And they've played horribly in all of them.
And he's only been to 1 Super Bowl.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
I wouldn't. The guy is definitely not a leader. He's definitely not somebody you can look up to. His physical abilities have been outstanding. He can throw the ball from any platform. But with the aging, as he's aged, that stuff is starting to show. And last week's game was like, this is a guy that has taken his touchdown to interception ratio. So it's so important to him that those throws that he was making last week were like, what? I mean, that's not him. Those throws would have been in the ground or in the back of the end zone. And he was just up to
right
anybody.
Or a fan would have gotten a souvenir.
Yeah. I mean, so A-Rod is a funny guy, man. Very interesting, very funny, interesting character, dude. Like, he's one of those ones.
So, shout out to everybody in the comment section. Our brother Dennis says he's talking about MVPs, shaking my head. How many years has he been in the league? I can't lie, my views have changed on Rodgers. Josh, I hope I can answer your question later. So here's my thing on this whole Aaron Rodgers thing, right? And so we were having a football conversation a few weeks ago, and me and Big Shot were talking about Lamar, more specifically, and we said, like, basically, if we're comparing Lamar's success to the guys that we only rate their success based on their postseason success, then that's a compliment to Lamar. Does that make sense?
Right. Makes sense.
One of those guys is Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
He is one of the benchmarks of great quarterbacks. He is somebody that we measure up to when we talk about great quarterbacks, despite the amount of fair criticism that we have had about him over the years. We have never diminished the fact that he is a great quarterback. Cool. Who's above him? We can have our arguments.
Yeah.
We know undoubtedly there is one person above him, and nobody's going to argue that, and that is 4K12. On that very same Sunday, on the very same gridiron, even though it was in a different stadium, those MFers got greatness.
Yeah, it sure did.
They went in the huddle knowing, no matter what, we got 12, the real one. We got this dude. And it was so beautifully commentated by the great Tony Romo. Mm-hmm. He's like, 35 seconds, no timeouts in a regular season. The dude who's done it in 9 Super Bowls, this is nothing for him. Despite the fact that even though it was Jalen Ramsey that was defending, he was throwing to Scotty Miller. Not Mike Evans, not Chris Godwin, not Julio Jones. Scotty Too Hotty was the man that he was throwing to. That's greatness. That's leadership. That is how you get 53 men to believe.
Yep.
And that's why we call it the most important position in all of team sports.
And two things off of that, like hope, if you're a Tampa fan, you're hoping that kicks off a nice long streak for them, and maybe they become who they are. It's already week 10. Believe it or not, folks, we're already in week 10.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not the first time this year, 2022. Look at both their last playoff games for last season. How bad Aaron Rodgers played in comparison to how Brady almost brought them back against the Rams. I mean, the execution has been, at times for Brady is just it's unworldly. Some of the things he's able to do, and the receivers that he's able to do it with. Like you said, he didn't need Mike at times there. Mike maybe was taking up some coverage and let some other guys get open. But that execution this week was for the win, was incredible, man. And again, hopefully that starts a little streak for a team that I was hoping was going to be have another Super Bowl run too, because I'd like to see Burrow against Tom Brady. If it's the last time, Brady's on the football field, I would like it to be on one more Super Bowl. As many times, as much as other people might hate that, one more Super Bowl run. And so far, both teams have struggled these first 10 weeks, but never know. You never know what this next half of football is going to bring us.
Okay. We'll leave the conversation there. Something we just want to put in everybody's ears. We would probably pick up on it. Shout out to Jeffrey Howman, always a valuable, wonderful contributor. He says, but he skipped OTAs and I believe most of training camp, knowing he was going to have this new receiving core, and he is railroading them like that? ? Goes on to say, must be whispers in the locker room of putting Jordan Love out there, I'm guessing.
Now, I heard something about that though. Somebody brought that up. Is it time for Jordan Love to start getting reps? But imagine, like, Rodgers is getting paid $50 million a year, bro. Well,
again, so we talked about Colin Cowherd, right? Cowherd made a great point about Green Bay in general. Like, and I am somebody who can speak on this from experience. Like, when you have an owner of a business whose pockets are healthy, who will write the check that's necessary for the business, that matters. Jerry Jones, he's going to do that. Robert Kraft has done it. The Steelers have done it. The 49ers, they've done it. You know what I mean? The Ravens, they've done it. It goes on and on and on. But who's constantly falling short of making that, oh my God, they got who? Is Green Bay.
Yeah.
And again, and I'm going to tell you this, Rick, I'm going to tell you this again, man. I'm going to tell you this again. Yes, COVID has impacted everybody across the globe. And yes, it has affected and revolutionized the way people operate day to day when within their businesses and whatever industry they're in. You can no longer have a dinosaur mentality or you're going to go extinct. And the Packers have a dinosaur model right now. And Aaron Rodgers is equally to blame for all of it because he has the most power in that organization.
Yeah, and I mean, there was rumors that they offered a first-round pick for Darren Waller. There was rumors that they went after a few players in this trade deadline more than I've ever heard them go after. And
sure.
For some reason, they haven't been able to execute it. So, like, it makes you
because
think
they don't have that dude. They don't have Jerry Jones. They don't have Robert Kraft.
Right.
They don't have I'm gonna mess it up, Dennis, because his name is Steve Bisciotti. I think that's I don't know why his name ain't coming to me. You know what I mean? But they don't have that. They don't have the Rooneys. They don't have Stephen Ross in Miami. You know what I'm saying? They just don't. And that's a problem. That's a problem.
Yeah, they're gonna have to get it.
And then Ty also mentioned while going through a very public scrutiny with a personal matter. Yeah, again, something we just want to put in your brains. Let's move on to something else real quick. The Indianapolis Colts. Appreciate you, Dennis. The Indianapolis Colts made a lot of headlines, big splash. Look, first they bench Matt Ryan, Nick Foles is on the bench. They got Sam Ehlinger starting. Then they get rid of Frank Reich, my opinion, prematurely, and they got John Fox on there. They got Gus Bradley on there, guys who are former head coaches, guys who were on Super Bowl rosters as one of them as well. Now, John Fox never won as a head coach, but whatever. Actually lost twice. Yep. Lost in Carolina, lost in Denver.
Yep.
Where was I going with this? Oh, instead, they bring in Jeff Saturday. And oh my God. Okay. I was so annoyed with the angles the media took. So annoyed. And I kid you not, I literally was watching this on my desk and I stood up and I started clapping when I saw Jeff Saturday's interview or introductory press conference because it was so real and it was so raw and it was so valid. People are saying, who is he? He doesn't have the experience. And he said it. Mr. Big Chest. I don't know why the word MF is on my tongue. I'm in a very aggressive mood. I'm choosing violence tonight. Okay, but I don't want to get canceled by the FCC.
Mm-hmm.
He said it. I have been in this league 14 years. I'm a Super Bowl champion, a Hall of Famer. He mentioned how many guys he played with were in the Hall of Fame. He was around Peyton Manning or his entire career. Like, he said he knows how to lead men. He knows how to lead a locker room. Like, of course, he has an absolute, I want to cuss so bad, yo. Mm-hmm. He has such a valid point. Like, who is anybody? Who is Colin Cowherd? Who is Skip Bayless? All credible, who Chris Broussard, Nick Wright, you name them. Who are any of these mother to say that Jeff Saturday is not qualified to be a head football coach? He said it himself. Look, if after 8 games I suck, I'll see you later. But I might be good. He might be good. You know what I mean? Like, none of us know. And the Colts, for whatever reason, decided to go with him. And I'm not mad about it because, again, there is nobody who could sit here and convince me that he is not a qualified candidate and a quality person to be in that role. What, just because he didn't coach? So what? He's played. He's been a leader. He's been a captain. He was the center and the focal point for one of the greatest offenses of our entire NFL lives. He was the center and that's a double entendre for a revolutionary offense.
Yeah.
And he played with, in most people's eyes, honestly, in my eyes, the second best quarterback to ever play.
Yeah.
We're gonna tell him he don't qualify? You don't qualify.
You know, it's I don't know what side of the fence I'm in.
I feel you.
This. You know, I can understand the people that are upset about it. Ryan Clark had a very interesting take on it. I don't know if you saw that.
I did not.
He talked about, you know, he kind of pulled out the race thing and said, you know, how many other guys might be qualified that have already had some coaching experience. He talked about how the players in the locker room might look at him like, you know, you just got here, you haven't, you know, well, he says specifically more the coaches that are on the staff right now.
Now that's a valid point.
Right. You didn't go through the training camp with us. You didn't go through the coaches' meetings with us. Then he mentioned the players slightly saying, you know, we don't have an experience. How are we supposed to take your advice or your coaching? You know, so
man, pull up the film.
Yeah.
You will see qualifications.
I get your side of it. I mean, being on the field is one of the most important things. Having that experience, like you said, literally the center of what that offense was. Probably the only guy to step to Peyton Manning's face and kind of shut him up there in that little scuffle they had in the sidelines. When Peyton tried to tell him to do his effing job, and he's like, "No, I want to direct some of the blocking assignments myself." So I don't know, man. That's a tough one. That's a tough one because at the end of the day, there is some guys that should have had the opportunity. Now, in the middle of the season, you know, is that too late to say Eric Bieniemy come over? You probably can't do that right now. But he talked about, you know, Ryan Clark talked about the relationship that the owner has with another white guy, you know, and you know that's gonna bring more, you know, more of a friendship is what he's gonna try to hire because he can't relate to the other, you know. So those are things that are still an issue in the professional life anyway, in business anyway. So you know, those are things that need to be discussed down the road, you know, more.
And first of all, I'm comfortable talking about this because, again, pull up the tape. It's on YouTube, it's on Facebook, it's on the View 22 YouTube channel. We have been very vocal about these things. Shit, I went on a 25-minute rant about Brian Flores.
Mm-hmm.
And I get the good old boys club conspiracy theories.
Yes, because it could be true.
No doubt. It doesn't change my opinion that he is a qualified and quality candidate
individual
for the job.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
Yeah,
and Big Shot says it, you know, Big Shot is somebody that you learn a lot from.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And,
absolutely.
He said this, he said one time, we were talking about inside the NBA. And he said, and I said that Kenny is the smartest basketball mind on that set. And he said that it was either him or MJ, which again, brilliant minds of their own. Yep. But I believe it was Big Shot that said the role players usually end up having the
most
smarter IQ.
Absolutely.
And that's why. And Jeff Saturday was no role player, but in terms of an offensive lineman,
technically,
you know what I mean? That's
Technically, he has a role. He had to snap the ball and make sure that pocket was protected. That was it. You know.
And again, for a lot of times throughout his career, Peyton wasn't necessarily the one calling out the protection and the blitzes and all that.
Right.
That was Jeff Saturday.
Yeah. No, and I mean, it's, you know, there's no statistics out there backing this up or anything like that. But if Tom Brady one day made himself available for a head coaching position, and, you know, I wouldn't put it past him because he just cannot stay off the field. I don't know if I want to hire him because it's like, bro, you're the Michael Jordan of this shit, and Michael Jordan sucked.
If
give me
Brady
Wes Welker
was to be
and your boys.
successful, what's that?
I said, but give me one of your Wes Welkers or your Dan Copens, maybe.
Oh, well, Wes Welker's a freaking passing game coordinator for the 49ers or the Dolphins, actually.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Tom Brady would be good as a defensive coordinator. That's it.
As a what?
As a defensive coordinator.
Tom Brady?
Tom Brady would be good as a defensive coordinator.
Why defense?
Because as a offensive coordinator, he will never be happy with his quarterback.
Man, that's deep shit right there. Imagine
not just a hat rack,
and this is because I know I feel this when I'm studying film from these college level kids. Imagine him studying some college level kid to play quarterback for his offense, and he's just like, "What is he doing? What was that, bro? Are you serious, dog?"
Exactly.
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 We never know. Obviously, we don't even know if he would consider himself a candidate one day. Peyton has yet to, consider himself a candidate yet. But, bro, that would be fun. I would want it to happen just to see what would happen. But if I had the position to hire them, I'd be like, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't think Peyton wants to be. I think Peyton is happy being, having his camps and doing the TV thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think Brady's eventually going to be a part owner of an NFL team. I don't think he wants to be like for Brady. And this is going to sound very arrogant. You know what I mean? But a dude is doing like Aston Martin commercials. You know what I mean? Like he was on the cover for some fancy ass European magazine. He doesn't want to be a head coach. You know what I mean? He wants to kick it and enjoy the next 40 years of his single life.
Yeah, I can see.
Back to the streets.
Speaking of that, did you see real quick that Giselle bought the house across the stream, across the lake there in Miami?
Man,
they could just swap the kids back and forth on the boat.
Listen,
she petty, man.
Listen, but start calling that man Noah. Listen. You know, I am very fond of Hispanic women.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But we know when they got their mindset that they're gonna agitate you.
Oh yeah.
Some sad news to report. Jason Verrett tore his Achilles. Yeah. So that would be his 9th injury in 7 years.
Yeah, and when he's playing, he's a solid player, man.
He is a B+ cornerback, honestly. But all right. Tonight's game 4 and 5 Falcons, 2 and 7 Panthers. Sam Darnold is inactive. Boo. Rashard Higgins is inactive. Justin Burris is inactive. For the Falcons, AJ Terrell, Eric Harris. Obviously, we know about Casey Hayward. And their 2 tight ends are also inactive as well in that game. I am trying to – have they announced who's starting?
That's what I was going to start my little soliloquy.
Go ahead. Do you think? Take it away. You just take it away.
It's
in like 3 minutes.
Is Baker back? I was trolling a little bit on views.
No, they're saying PJ will start.
Oh, is he really? Damn.
Yeah, PJ's going to start.
I was saying, is Baker and Brady back? Baker had a nice little second half there passing, but, it looks like that they're going to go back to PJ and see what happens. I think both of them are on a short leash. One is up, they're going to throw the other one in, and I think it's a very messy situation for Carolina. They have not been doing well with managing and coaching for the last several years in that franchise, and they need a lot of work. They might need a little deep cleansing, as does many other teams that we don't have to mention right now in the NFL. So, I wouldn't be surprised if Atlanta takes this game. Outstanding run game. They can control the clock there. They seem to be a little bit more stable franchise at this moment, and that's saying a lot. So give me the Falcons today, man. I don't have too much in-depth analysis for this game. I just need London to get some targets, man.
again, I'm gonna go back to culture. Carolina's locker room is completely shattered. I don't think there is any solid. That culture is just rotten over there in Carolina. On the flip side, for Atlanta, there's a lot of positive things happening there. We gotta admit it. We gotta look at what we're seeing. Like, there's a lot of positive things happening in Atlanta. Are they gonna win the Super Bowl? Absolutely not. Are they gonna make the playoffs? Maybe. But who'd have thought that Falcons would make the playoffs at the beginning of the season? You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna be a fight for that last wild card spot in the NFC.
Oh my God, it's gonna be like 5-6 teams fighting for it.
Yep.
And that wouldn't shock me if week 17 or week 18 now, Atlanta controls their own destiny. It wouldn't shock me at all. Mm-hmm. And so I think when you look at another thing, the top 10 in scoring, top 10 in red zone, top 10 on third down. I mean, that's, and on the flip side, you got Carolina, who's bottom of the league in scoring, bottom of the league in the red zone, bottom of the league in third down. I think they actually are absolutely dead last.
So the Falcons should win this game.
Yeah, I mean, they got a much more balanced attack, for one. I think the only thing they might have to get better at is forcing and creating turnovers and generating points off those turnovers. But overall, I mean, they're 4-5, which, hey, it could be a lot worse. Right. That's all I'm saying. And I think Marcus Mariota deserves a lot of credit. I think Arthur Smith deserves a lot of credit. I think that whole staff deserves some credit. And obviously, shout out to Bill Belichick and Josh McDaniels and Tom Brady for extending Cordell Patterson's career. And now we can say that Cordell Patterson will have a successful NFL career. And he is their most valuable player for the Atlanta Falcons. I'm going with Falcons. I don't want to give a score anymore, but I'll go 25-17 Atlanta. And Vic, you going to Atlanta too?
Yeah.
All right, baby.
Quick, I don't know if Josh is still on.
Yeah.
I'm probably taking the Giants defense out of those options. I don't know exactly what Denver's situation is in terms of the health, obviously. But I think the Giants defense has been solid, man. I think they've been strong in all aspects of the game, actually. I don't know if they're probably top 15 and everything. So against Houston, I think that might be the best option. It's not going to be, that many points. So hopefully the rest of your roster is better than choosing between defenses right now. But
amen to that. Yeah. I mean, obviously, I would go with Giants just because you never know with Denver, and they still got a tier 1-ish quarterback. They got a good roster. So
right.
Yeah,
they could all of a sudden throw up 30 points or something.
Yeah.
Yo, by the way, man, the chocolate payday. This ain't no regular payday, folks.
Chocolate payday.
Chocolate dipped payday. You know what I'm saying? Much better than a Snickers bar.
Okay, hold up.
And it doesn't fuck with my stomach.
Hold up. It was fine when you put chocolate payday up there by itself. Okay?
Oh, you don't
chocolate
like that?
Payday seems like a serviceable, draftable, starting chocolate bar.
No, this is a first round pick.
Okay, fine.
It's a first round pick.
That's fine. PFF will give it a first round grade. But the minute you put it up there with Snickers is where you fucked up. Okay?
Maybe second overall pick.
Victor, we talking about Snickers. Okay.
Yo, let's do a chocolate bar draft on the thread.
Sunday morning, we are doing a chocolate bar thread draft.
They gotta try this shit first. But you gotta find it in your local stores.
I will go get 25 chocolate bars and have them ready to go. Sunday morning, views and views, chocolate bar draft. Make sure you are there. The dish is coming on.
Yeah, look at the chat.
Enjoy the game. Take us home, Vic.
Yo, 22. Yo, go get a payday before you start drafting, because I don't want no damn biasness. Okay.